Here is Joe Bauman, president of the Birmingham Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. And Joe, I got you on the phone and I got you on Zoom. So let's try Zoom here. We'll see how that goes. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Fantastic. Okay, we can hear you really good on Zoom, and I love the background. I assume you are in your office, but I see downtown Birmingham and the nostalgic, wonderful sign of the Birmingham Theater behind you.
Yes, pining for the future for sure.
All right, so let's just start off. We got a lot of news to get to today, obviously, but let's just start off. How are things going in Birmingham and your service area?
Well, as you mentioned on the air earlier, we do have retail slowly reopening in a very limited fashion, so we're excited about that. It's really what we're focusing on right now is helping our members, those that have been allowed to open in a limited basis, and as importantly, those who are still waiting in the service industry and general business on what the new normal is going to look for a while. And we're telling all of our members is to try to make this as smooth a transition as possible. They need to prepare and communicate. They need to prepare as to how they're going to serve the public in this new realm. And then more importantly, they need to communicate that to their customers. It's critically important that all businesses, whether you're a retail shop, a restaurant when they reopen, a shoe store, they need to communicate using all of their measures that they have with their customers, whether it be their CRM, whether it be social media, whether it be an email campaign. They need to lay out in detail as to what the shopping experience is going to be ahead of time. So when they do get people coming to their stores, they're not confused, they're not surprised, they're not disappointed, and that we're urging everybody who's going to be visiting them to be patient. This is a new frontier. And so having, it on your website, what the shopping experience is going to look, taste, and feel like is going to be really important to make this a successful restart.
Well, Joe, no question about it. Thank you for your thoughts. And clearly you're putting a lot of work and putting a lot of thought into making all this happen. Talk a little bit about your sense of community, because really that's what Birmingham is all about. And you think about downtown Birmingham, you think about our other downtowns, downtown Rochester, and I could go on and on. I don't want to leave any out. And then you think about Somerset Mall and you think about 12 Oaks Mall. These are shopping communities. So is that part of the dynamic of this all too, Joe, to make sure the entire shopping community is coming together and all of it opening up, or at least as much as possible?
Absolutely. We're strategizing with the city of Birmingham as to, at some point, are we going to have a reopening event? The problem is that, many of the stores downtown still, while they're starting to reopen, it's by appointment only. The restaurants obviously are still closed to in-restaurant dining, which is a huge part of downtown Birmingham. So it's kind of hard. I think people would love us to just have a big ribbon cutting in the middle of downtown Birmingham and say, everything's open, everything's ready to go, but that's just not going to be the case. So if you're thinking about going to one of your favorite stores, call ahead, find out what their situation is, find out what their rules are, make sure to bring a mask with you. We're still doing the masks, we're still doing social distancing, and really we're just, wanting people to be patient. But downtown Birmingham is the downtown for our entire service area. Birmingham, Bloomfield Hills, Bloomfield Township, Beverly Hills, Bingham Farms, even Franklin. I think the residents there consider Birmingham to be their downtown. So, and people are missing that. They're missing an opportunity to gather and use the parks and really enjoy what's going to, now is upon us the summer season.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it as the original mall. Before there were malls, we all went to, I'm old enough to remember, we all went to downtown Birmingham. I grew up in West Bloomfield, and none of this stuff was around here that's here now. And, we would go to downtown Birmingham and shop. So it's really good to see things opening up in Birmingham, and what you're doing and working on is relevant to all of our other communities as they work, and even right down to every single little strip mall across our service area, trying to get things back up and running. Just a quick glimpse in the future. I was in northern Michigan over the weekend, and it was good to see and walk into retail establishments. Our future is going to be good. It is going to work, but it is going to be a little bit different. So I know you're going to be working with your retailers to make that happen. But I saw it. I saw it last weekend, and I know we can manage it. I think we probably can manage it right now, but that's a matter for another day. We'll let that one go. Joe Bauman is with us, president of the Birmingham Bloomfield Chamber. Joe, you've been so good over the past couple of months talking about some of the economic programs that are available. How are people in your area, and anything you can talk to folks across all of Oakland County as to how to continue to manage these PPP loans and other financial programs that are available to help businesses?
Sure. So the information we're getting from our friends in Washington and at the state of Michigan is the second round of the PPP loan process went much more smoothly than the first round. Many more small businesses were able to actually obtain one of the loans and then with the potential of being forgiven. What's happening now is we're really kind of shifting into phase two, that those businesses that were successful in round one and got their money early, they're bumping up against that 8-week period where they needed to use those funds. And then depending on how they use them, they're now in the forgiveness phase. And so it's really important for a business, if you did receive a PPP loan, to make sure to contact your lender, find out what your deadline is for filing the forgiveness paperwork, because that's going to be even more important than getting the loan itself, because obviously, we want our businesses to get as many of those loans turned into grants as they can. The other thing that I wanted to mention, I want to give a shout out to Oakland County on two measures. You had mentioned earlier in the broadcast that the governor loosened the restrictions for obtaining a test, whether it be an antibody test or a COVID test. Oakland County has really stepped up, and they are making both tests available to all county residents without a prescription, without symptoms, and at no charge. They have 3 service areas that they're using. One is in Pontiac, one is in Southfield, and one is in Novi. Any resident can call, make an appointment, go and get a test, and there's no cost, there's no billing of your insurance, it's totally free. The other thing that the county did is they've used a portion of the money they received from the CARES Act, and they have given about $14 million in direct grants to local small businesses. I was fortunate to sit on one of the loan committees for the district that incorporates our service area, and I know, how important that was to some of our members to receive those grants. And I understand that there may be a third phase coming down the pipe. I know there's a press conference today. I'm not sure if that's what it's about, but we're hearing that it's very likely there will be a third round of grants available to small businesses in Oakland County. So I really want to give kudos to our county leaders for being so forward-thinking.
Joe, I agree. I think Dave Coulter's team's doing a really good job up at the county offices, and the programs you've talked about, we've been talking about here on the MegaCast. In addition, there are additional dollars that have come from the federal government to counties. Some of those dollars are going to go to help. In Oakland County, they decided some of those dollars are going to help the municipalities, and some of those dollars are going to continue to go out to businesses. So the grant program that they started, that was very, very small, has grown once, is going to grow even more. And, stupid me, I figured, well, why apply for this thing, because it isn't going to be much money. And you know what? That was a wrong move.
I remember we had that conversation earlier.
Said, hey, Joe, what's the point? It's it's going to be gone in 10 minutes. And the first round was, but just when these things become available, take advantage of them. Don't be a dummy like me. The press conference, we'll be covering it live, and if you want to see it, we cannot broadcast it live today, but we will have it on our website later on this afternoon, or Erica Jones is going to head out to the county. It's going to be their very first in-person press conference since the coronavirus outbreak. So that in itself will be interesting. They're going to be talking about new business opening kits that the county's going to make available, up to 10,000 of them. So as you're getting ready to open your business and you need some additional resources, you might as well go to the county site because they have fantastic information on the steps you need to take to open up your business. But now they're going to put together these kits. That's the main thinking behind the press conference today. We'll be there. We'll report it. Erica Jones will be in here in a couple of minutes. And I wouldn't be too surprised to hear somebody ask Dave or Executive Coulter about some of these additional programs that you're talking about, Joe, to help out businesses. So Oakland County has been doing as good of a job. You know, everyone, even those criticized, have been working really hard to make this whole thing happen. So, you know, I'm not going to pick on anyone. No reason to jump on that bandwagon. There's plenty of people picking on people already, but I want to give kudos to everyone, every first responder, every elected official, folks like you, Joe, that are doing a good job working with businesses. And, you know, this hasn't been easy. Get some things right, you get some things wrong. We're working together to make it the best we can. Joe Bauman, president of the Birmingham Bloomfield Chamber. Joe, I could talk to you every day. It's really good to chat with you today. Anything else you want to add before we have to run along?
Thank you. I do want to give a plug to the Chamber. So we were talking a moment ago about, you know, the loan forgiveness part of the PPP. We do have a webinar at 11 a.m. Featuring one of our great chamber partners, the CPA firm of Fenner, Mellstrom, and Dooling. One of their partners is going to be doing a tutorial on what businesses need to do to prepare for that loan forgiveness phase. There's no charge. It's open to everybody. Just go to our website, ebcc.com, and you'll find the link to join the webinar. That's at 11 a.m. It's going to be great information. And again, we've just been focused on trying to keep our members and the entire community educated, informed, and up to date. And that's, you know, continues to be our focus. So I want to thank you again for giving me the opportunity to be on this morning. This is one of the ways we do it, and we really appreciate it.
Hey, Joe, back at you. Don't schedule your events during my show, though, ever again. We're going to have to... No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure it's going to be taped because there'll be thousands of people tuning into the MegaCast that won't be able to tear themselves away. But, no, we hope you go to the website. And a huge thanks, in all seriousness, to the Birmingham Bloomfield Chamber for putting us on your Facebook page today. Is greatly appreciated. We always reach a lot of people. Thank you, Joe. Keep up the good work. Let's keep in touch, and we're getting closer. We are getting closer to that day where you and I are going to go out for a beer in downtown Birmingham. So
one day soon, the governor's not going to say just a couple more weeks.
I feel the day is coming close. Maybe fortunately, I don't know more than 10 people, so it's pretty easy to put together a little gathering, but we'll do it soon, Joe. Thank you very much.
All right.
He is Joe Bauman, great guy, and working so hard. President of the Birmingham Bloomfield Chamber.